Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I am a living Christ. What does that mean to most of you? You see, you have learned, you have been conditioned to believe. If you live in the Western world, Western civilization, you have been led to believe the concepts of Christianity. Christianity is merely a form of thought, a philosophy, if you will, but it is a form of thought that is entertained by the intellect. The intellect is a level of consciousness that most of you are trapped in. You're completely unaware that there is more to life, there is more to consciousness than that which you have been taught to believe in. I'm speaking of religious conditioning, political conditioning, and social culturization. Now, to most of you, that means life. But you see, it is a very, very narrow view of life. It is a vibration of consciousness that is limited only to the level of the known. Now, the level of the known is what we call civilized life. Its gods are scientists who worship thought. Now, the god of thought is Satan. Now, to most of you, that's merely a concept that you can either agree with or disagree with. You lack the ability to delve deeply into that word, Satan, and mine its truth, its energy, its frequency, its vibration. So you're comfortable with static answers, immobile answers, dead answers, concepts, beliefs. And those beliefs take over your consciousness, and that becomes your reality. That becomes the alternate reality that creates a representation of life. It is not life itself, for that you are not in touch with, because you are believing in the concept that you have been taught of life by the scientists, those who are gods of the limited realm of intellect. Now, the intellect is ruled by the god Satan. So all of you who live in your, and I mean all of you who live and are confined to the limitations of thought, of concepts, are Satanists. Doesn't matter if you call yourself Christians or Buddhists or Muslims. These are all limited, fragmented ideas that you hold, that you hold to be complete truth. They are not truth. They cannot be truth because they're fragmented. They're partial bits and pieces of the whole that you are completely unaware of. Now that is what the problem is in living in a civilized society. We are told what to believe in, and we are coerced, and we concede to the coercion. So we walk away, we parrot what has been conditioned into us by our teachers, by our mind controllers, those who condition our world belief, that reinforce it daily through the media, the constant familiar faces, the representations of positive imaged men and women who speak nonsense, who speak familiar phrases until they are believed to be truth. See, that's how we're conditioned. That's how you are conditioned. And the purpose of life, of course, is to transcend that conditioning, to come to the point of direct perception of truth. A different idea. Idea is the wrong word. It's a different vibration. It is what is. There's no middleman. There's nothing to prove. It is self-evident. All truth is self-evident. You see, we lose that part of consciousness in favor of following an intellect that teaches you what is conceptually. And when you believe in the concept, the dead concept, because it's not living, you see, you can only live in the eternal moment of now, which unfolds. There's no beginning to that moment, and there's no end to that moment. It is there, it is there, it is there. It seems like endless moments, but each moment is new and alive. And either you vibrate with that living energy, or you grasp the first moment and you hold it static. You say, that's the truth. That I believe in. That I shall hold to my death. I shall defend it to my death. No other moment can be true but that. You have learned the secret of religious mind control, to create a myth, a dead idea, and to determine in another's mind that that is the truth. When that occurs, you are the victim of mind control, and you are completely unaware of it. You consider that to be your truth. You say, not another's truth, but your truth. And you get angry when another posits another presentation with a slight twist. You see, truth cannot be twisted. Truth cannot be presented in many, many forms. Only the ideas of truth that one holds can be presented. You see, that is the fictitious world that we call civilized world. And all of you who live in that civilized world, with all of its conflict and contradictions, all of its opposition, all of its violence, its anger, its frustration, all these things fall away when you understand that that is merely a level of awareness, a very, very narrow level of awareness, whose vibration is absolutely the lowest in human consciousness. You are much more than that. Each of you who are watching this video, listening to me, you don't know who you are. You believe in the image that you hold about yourself, and you call that ego. It serves you. It serves the purpose. It allows you to function in a relative world in a relative way. But there's a price for that, isn't there? It's violence, it's confrontation, it's power. All of these things are the qualities of hell. And you have created it in your own level of consciousness. And you are kept there by people who are aware of how to control that narrow sliver of consciousness that you call your world. These are the mind controllers, these satanic mind controllers, who are hired by the people, patronized by those who control the energy of money, of opportunity. You see, the civilized world is a world of insanity. Insanity in the sense that there is no balance. You see, anything that's unbalanced ultimately will reach the point, the level of insanity, and it cannot be stopped. These are the crises of consciousness that most people go through in life before they themselves decide to change. You see, that decision to change is what's called creation. And you will create your own life, or you will allow someone else to create it for you. Isn't that what civilized society is all about? We live by the rules. What rules? You see? The rules of ideas, of thoughts, of parameters of behavior, which you must conform to, or you shall be punished. Does that not reflect a limited reality, a limited consciousness, a state of ignorance in process? For anything that is not whole, that is less than whole, is based on ignorance. For it is ignorant of all that which is beyond its grasp. And we are trained to live that way. Trained by the media, owned by those who control the money, by those who are behind governments, who tell governments, puppets, presidents, ministers, people who say that they know better, and you will follow what they tell you, or you shall reap the punishment that they shall dole out if you do not comply. That is civilized society, is not. It's hell on earth. Well, you see, if you look on the internet at my website, arkenterprises.com, and also lisarayenterprises.com, you will find a different sort of consciousness in this man, this living man. He vibrates at a different level of awareness than do most of you. And so you shall rebel. You shall lash out with indignation of such vibration. It's vibratory consciousness. For it threatens your whole view of your limited level of life. You see, that can't be allowed to happen. Those who control your minds are threatened by such an holistic view, a vibratory essence of what is, truth itself. You see, truth is all there is. Anything other than that is less than truth, and therefore it is a concept, a representation, an image of truth. It's a lie. You are all living that lie. So who am I? What kind of man would claim to be beyond that? Well, test that man. Investigate that man. Look at everything he says and find a contradiction in essence, a lie, a deception. You will not find it. You see, for such a man can only be truth, speak truth, is truth. That's the living Christ. Jesus of Nazareth was one of them. I am another. Both he and I threaten the satanic forces of our world. We threaten the very power structure that enslaves people like you. I say you because I am being required to use my intellect in order to communicate with you. But that intellect is flawed, you see. It cannot speak the whole truth and nothing but the truth because it's limited by words. And you will either grasp those words according to your understanding, and if they are limited or different from the level of understanding in which those words are delivered, there will not be a meeting of the mind, of consciousness, of love. There will be a division. There will be a schism that separates us. And with such schism, you will hold to your belief system, and you shall not let go. Now the question is, why must there be a decision as to which view is true? Because we are all operating at two levels of awareness, or two levels of consciousness, I should say. The subconscious mind, which is holistic, complete, infinitely free of all limitations. That is the real you. But you have lost contact with that. And that's why it's called the subconscious. It's beyond your present level of understanding. And you're much more comfortable with the ideas that you know of. And you cling to that realm of the known. And that becomes your world image. And you live your life. This part, this segment of eternal life, which began with birth and shall end with death. But you see, there is no real birth and death. It's just a segment of energy that is limited to the known. And it's all full of struggle. Each of us must go through that. That's part of the reason that we're here at the present time at this level of understanding. We're working out the barriers to truth. And those who have transcended the intellectual level of consciousness and have risen above that to the point of being beyond such limitation, they, in that moment, are in direct contact with the subconscious mind that is capable of grasping the truth of what is. And you realize that you are that. See? I am that. That's what truth is. At the deepest level, you are one with an infinite intelligence. But you are caused to doubt yourself through pressure. The pressure of the intellect. Now that level of consciousness is the very nature of hell itself. It's ruled by satanic division, opposition. And we come to understand that within our limited awareness as truth. It is not truth. Now, I know that I have thoroughly confused most of you because I have pushed you. I have pushed you to the point of your limitation of understanding. And you don't like it a bit. So you probably will repel such energy. You will argue it. You will fight it tooth and nail to remain limited but comfortable, secure in your limitations. That is the mechanism of life that exists in the consciousness of truth, which is subconscious, and the consciousness of the idea of truth, which is the intellect. Who can argue? You can only argue in the intellect, you see. And that is not where it's at. That is not where this living Christ is coming from. And so I do understand that I will upset most of you with my words. But it is not intentional. I do not intend to harm anyone. My intentions are holistic, to share what is truth. Now each of you can do the same, even though at this moment you will doubt that you can. From this moment forward, until you take the last breath of this lifetime, never tell another lie, another contradiction in essence. Can it be done? Most of you think it cannot be done. My own son told me it's impossible. And in that statement, he condemned himself to hell until he awakens within himself. I could not change him. It is not my point to change him. It is his responsibility to feel the pain of his contradiction, as most of you must face the pain of your contradiction until you tire of it and you stop. You stop the noise. You stop the contradiction, the opposition of every idea that you hold within your intellect. For that's what intellect is. It's the point of division, the point of contradiction, opposition, and violence. It's hell. When you understand there's a consciousness which is beyond that, a consciousness of peace, tranquility, of silence, of infinite intelligence, then, and only then, will you transcend your own hellish world. That is when you come to the point of oneness, of harmony with all that exists. For you are the creator of that existence. And if you operate from the subconscious mind, it will be whole, it will be true, it will be one, harmonious. But if you devolve back into your intellect, where everything is divided and opposing, satanically controlled with images, you will turn everything into a hell, a living hell. That's my point that I am sharing with you today. You are the source of your quality of life. Will it be heaven? Or will it be hell? Is it not all clearly dependent upon you?